Hey there! This is the JobSuite team with a video on list views in JobSuite. When you log into the JobSuite application, you'll see tabs at the top. Each of these tabs have lists underneath. So if I click on the Campaigns tab, I can see a list of all my campaigns. If I click on Jobs, I can see a list of all my jobs. These lists have a lot of functionality built in. So first, start up at the tab. At the very top, you can see there's a quick action button with a drop down. We can create a new job. We can go to Job Favorites. We can go to Recent Records, or we can go to Recent List Views. And so if I click on this list view, you can see all the different list views that have been set up. You can create as many list views as you like. Everyone can create their own list views. And when you create a list, you name it, you select the columns that you want to populate the list, and then you also filter the list. Right now, I'm looking at a list of all jobs whose status is active, but you can filter by any of the fields that are on the job record. These lists have functionality. Sort by clicking on the column headers. You can click over here in the list view controls, and you can select the fields to display. You can share the list with other people. You can rename the list or clone it. And selecting fields to display is the way you select the columns for the list. And you can also change the order of each column. So if I want to remove this next task due field, I just slide it to the left-hand column and that removes it from the list. Note, we are not removing the field, just the column from the list. If you use this little button over here to select the type of list, you can select a table, Kanban, or split view lists. Kanban's pretty handy. And Kanban allows us to look at our jobs different ways and do some math in our list. Right now, we're adding up the hours logged in timesheets for all the jobs in this list. You can also drag and drop job records to a different column. In this list, the columns are the priority of the job. We can change the way our Kanban is set up by going to Kanban settings. So if I want to summarize by budgeted job cost, I could do that. So you have Kanbans, you have tables, and then you also have the split view. Split view allows me to scroll down and see the details for each job right in list view. So you can see list views have a lot of functionality and give you a variety of ways to view your job information. So how can lists be used on the real world? One of my favorite ways to use list views is to route work. Let's set this up by adding the job status to this list. I'm going to go over here to select Fields Display. I'm going to search for the job status. Click Save. So now you can see I've got all active jobs in my list. I'm going to clone this list to create a new requested jobs list. Let's call this New Requested Jobs. And let's let everybody see it. And let's change our status in the filter to be Requested Jobs. So we're going here to our filter. And we're going to select the field status, and we're going to select Requested. Save this list. Now we've got a list of all requested jobs. So you can select the columns you want. A real handy way to use this is to assign one person on your team to be responsible for checking in newly requested jobs. So they'd log in every day, and they'd go to their newly requested jobs list and see all the new job requests for the day. Then they can click on the job, set up the team, set up the schedule, do whatever they need to do. So that's a pretty handy way people use list views to move jobs through a process. There are lots of ways to use lists in your workflow. Give us a call if you have any questions. If you want some more training on JobSuite, feel free to schedule a call. Thanks.